welcome back to another video. Let's get started. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about my art process for the Universal Monster characters, but I am also going to be talking about my night at Horror Nights, or my nights at Horror Nights. I was able to do about 7 nights at Horror Nights, and I loved every single night, and I made sure to take advantage of the freaking Fear Pass when and anytime I had the chance. So I say grab yourself your favorite snack and a cozy blanket, and let's get this video started. So the Universal Monster characters and how I design them, it's really just a process of what I want to see, but also what I want to make sure that they represent, but also doing research when it comes to doing these characters. And you don't have to do this for every single character that you want to redesign and create. I do this because I want to make sure that I have a full understanding to the character, but also a reason to why I'm changing, adding, or just keeping some of the details and some of the add-ons that are part of this drawing. For example, when it came to the daughter of Frankenstein and Tarantula, I wanted to go a different route for them because I wanted to do something really different, but also something really intriguing. For the Tarantula drawing, I didn't want to do a big spider. I wanted to do something more elegant and more fitting to the title. Same thing with the daughter of Frankenstein. I wanted to do something really different, and I wanted to do something towards technically the new generation. And that's what I liked about doing these drawings. I liked the fact that I was able to do them in my own interpretation of the characters, but also my own interpretation to how I would see the Universal Monster characters in my style. The first character that I started drawing was Dracula, and for Dracula, I had a lot of ideas, and I had a lot of, ways that I wanted to add in, because Dracula was one of those movies that I found interesting because of its storyline, and I love the fact that when you watch the original Dracula, then Nosferatu, then, the other, vampire movies besides Twilight and, Van Helsing, you're able to create this cool timeline in the Dracula universe, and it would make sense because you see vampires as somewhat as a everlasting immortal creature, but if they get revealed in the sun, then yeah, they'll pass on. I really, really, really loved all my designs of the Dracula family besides the brides. And that's what happens when you create these types of characters. Sometimes you'll have good characters that you'll actually be happy with. For example, I really was happy with the Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Mummy. I love the fact that I was able to create these 3 main iconic characters and made sure that they all were represented in a correct and appropriate way. And that was my main focus, and that was my main goal when it came to creating these characters. I wanted to make sure that the 3 mains were well preserved, but also in well detailed. Because when you think of Universal Monsters, you think of Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Mummy. And literally, when you think of that, you think of the big color, you think of the big colors, but also how they all have great iconic moments. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure that they were still iconic, but represented in my own art style and what I interpretate to that iconic style. And I'm really gonna be proud of those ones, because no matter what, I feel that the Universal Monsters are well designed and well thought out characters from the stories that they were based on and now interpreted into these big blockbuster movies. And I'm just really happy and just proud of myself that I was able to create these types of characters, and that these characters now are being shown off and being enjoyed because of what I did. and how I interpretate it, because the way that I interpretate it is different from everybody else, because everybody else has their own interpretation of The Phantom of the Opera, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and Bride of Frankenstein. They're all different and unique in their own way, and I just love seeing the variety of different styles and different artwork, and just how the character is interpreted from others' perspective, but others' interpretation of the character's development. And I feel like when it comes to creating like these types of art, it just makes me smile, and I love being an artist when it comes to creating things that welcome in others, but also like show that their fandom is being treated with respect by artists that know and like understand what they're talking about, because they love the series also, they love the movie also, or they just really love the book and they want to make sure that they treat it right, and that they know what they're drawing, and they know that they're trying to do like these different types of references to the different movies and like the different books and the different types of variations. And I love that. I will always love doing that, and I will always love doing like these little homages, and I will continue on and hopefully continue creating these different types of interpretations of how I think the Universal monsters are seen and how they will be interpreted in my own art style. Now transitioning over to the Universal Horror Night experience that I was able to go to. So I was able to do Halloween Horror Nights 2025, and I love this year so much. So originally when it came to going to Horror Nights, I was originally going to go with my partner, and we set 2 dates aside for us to go. We were originally going to go on October 2nd and even the 18th, which the 18th was going to be dedicated for us to go with a couple of our friends. But unfortunately, my partner was unable to set some time aside for me because they were busy with work. And I did tell them that, hey, if we can't go to Horror Nights, there's always next year. And that we didn't have to go to Horror Nights. It was just a necessity. It wasn't like a necessity to go to Horror Nights, but like I just wanted to go because like I love going to Horror Nights with you, and like I just know you love seeing me get scared really well. So I was able to get the Frequent Fear Pass with my mom, and we were able to go to Horror Nights about 6 to 7 times, and I loved every night, and I loved going through every single house. We tried doing like all the houses twice throughout the times of Halloween Horror Nights, but some of the houses were really long, and some of the houses we weren't able to do them twice because of the long waits, but also the limited time that we have, because we're old and we sometimes can handle it and sometimes we can't. So yay. I'm not going to go too in depth with the Halloween Horror Nights houses, because I'm going to be making a separate video dedicated to me talking about my Halloween Horror Nights experience. I don't know if it's going to be published this year or next year, but I don't know, it depends. So I'm just going to talk about my favorite like Halloween Horror Nights houses and just explain why they're my favorite. So I actually had 2 favorite Halloween Horror Nights houses, and that's actually a shocker, because when it comes to Halloween Horror Night houses, sometimes I have like 3, if not 4 favorites. But when it came to this year's Halloween Horror Nights, I like some houses I was able to go through once, and some houses I was able not to get like as many like good scares. And some houses were not that intriguing to me because really some of the houses were just like too scary, and I just want like good memories. And I lied, I actually have 3 houses because I accidentally forgot Scarecrow the Reaping. So we're gonna first talk about Scarecrow the Reaping slash Scarecrow the Reaping house. So I really loved Scarecrow the Reaping when it was originally featured in Hollywood back in 2023 or around 2022, 2020. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember like dates of the Halloween Horror Night houses. But I was able to do Scarecrow the Reaping twice, and I loved it. The first time when doing Scarecrow the Reaping, the only downside to Scarecrow the Reaping when I went through the first time was there was a scene where the ravens are perched on a like area, and the water was supposed to be turned on for that area, but then when I was walking through it, the water wasn't on, and literally the effect didn't work out, which really bummed me out because I loved that effect when it was featured in the 2021 house. But when going through it the second time on Sunday, November the 2nd, I loved it. I loved the fact that I got redeemed, and I still can't believe that I got a bunch of good scares. And I am really excited to draw some of those characters because it did inspire me to draw a bunch of characters from Halloween Horror Nights, and I just love that house a lot. The scares were amazing. The mask making were good. Slash did an amazing job creating the music for that house. And again, I think like Universal really missed out and lucked out to make like a movie or a horror movie based off like Scarecrow the Reaping, because I feel that maybe like it would have been a good way to interpret it to be a type of like movie. But I understand why they don't want to do it just yet, is because like maybe due to licensing, maybe due to creative differences. But hey, if they do decide to make a movie of Scarecrow the Reaping, I am going to be the first person waiting in line to get my ticket. So the next house that I love so very, very much was Fallout. And Fallout was actually a shocker to me. Originally, when Fallout was announced back in August, or back in like early like June or May, I was second guessing like Universal. I was literally telling myself like, oh, this house is gonna suck. I feel that this house is not gonna do good. I feel like the only thing that's scary in the show and in the game were like the creatures. But when going through that house, I love the fact that there was so much details, but the scares were so amazing. Like, you first walk into the vault and you see Lucy in her wedding dress, and you see the raiders like getting ready to like go after you, and it just takes you through like the movie or the show actually. And I love that. I love the fact that Universal is able to do these great interpretation of the movies and shows that they feature in Halloween Horror Nights. I also love the fact that they did the ghoul so amazing, even though when you look at the mask, it looks really silly and plasticky. But hey, I'm not going to complain. I really loved how they did the ghoul. I love how they did the ghoul's room and everything. When it came to the night room, I did not like the fact that when you see the night mecha, I didn't like the fact that they didn't do it as a puppet compared to Florida. Looking at the Florida video for Fallout and how they did the mecha knights, I really like the fact that they made it look like a puppet, and I made sure, like, I love the fact that I love I love the fact that they were able to do these different types of details to the show, but also putting in like that little Easter egg at the end for the next season of Fallout, which I love, and I cannot wait for the next season of Fallout. And I think like this house was a pretty house, but also a house that like, yeah, that didn't still need to be featured, but I love the fact that it was featured. And I had to save the best for last for the Halloween Horror Nights favorites. I absolutely love the Wyatt 6. WWE The Wyatt Six Halloween Horror Nights house. Now, if you don't know, on my live streams, I have talked about like a bunch of wrestling. I've talked about WWE, I've talked about AAA, and I've talked about like different types of wrestling like companies sometimes. And when it comes to the Wyatt Six, I am a big fan of the Wyatt Six. Like, I love their storylines. I love how they do their character development, but I also love the fact that they are able to mix both wrestling and spookiness together. And I know WWE is a fake sport, but again, I don't care that it's a fake sport. I just love the fact that they created like these like spooky characters, and I just love it so much. So, the Wyatt Six is a group of creepy characters that were created by Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt was this longtime wrestler who had a bunch of creative ideas when it came to his characters. He was originally The Fiend, he was, of course, Bray Wyatt, and he was also Uncle Howdy, but now his brother has taken over the Uncle Howdy name, and a couple of his good friends have also taken the name of Abby the Witch, Mercy the Buzzard, and so forth and so on. Unfortunately, Bray Wyatt passed away a good while ago, and his brother was honored to take over the mantle of Uncle Howdy and be able to continue on with his legacy. And I really love the fact that they were able to interpret the characters so beautifully and so well in like the house. I was a little bit scared and a little bit iffy when it came to the development and the idea and the announcement of the Wyatt Six house, because we didn't know who was creating or who the idea or who was creating the story of the Wyatt Six house. We were thinking it was going to be the WWE company or the writers of the WWE company, but actually it was John Murdy who created the storyline for the WWE Wyatt Six house, and some of the writers, or I think the mask maker and Bray Wyatt's brother, who created the ideas of doing these two houses. So the Florida house and the Hollywood house are really two different things. The one in Florida is both the backstage of the WWE management team, but also it transitions to the Firefly Funhouse and also the Bayou house. While the one in Hollywood would be the Firefly Funhouse and the Bayou house. I love the fact that when you walk into the Bayou house, you are able to see a bunch of memorabilia of Bray Wyatt, but also you get that like great scare in the beginning from Uncle Howdy. But throughout like the maze, you're also getting introduced to the other different types of characters, which I cannot remember some off the top of my head, but I do know some. I am a WWE fan. Mercy the Buzzard, Abby the Witch, Husker the Hog, and then the bunny that I cannot remember, but I do remember the wrestler's name who plays the bunny, Eric Rowan. So I really love the fact that this house really just talks and just goes through the different types of characters, but I love the fact that the rooms were themed to the different types of characters, and I just love that. I love the fact that they theme them. I love the fact that they have a well played out storyline, and that's what I love about Universal. I love the fact that they actually take the time and the effort to actually put in like a good storyline for this house. For the house, I really love the fact that they were able to do like a little homage to Wyndham, and I love the fact that they were just able to like say and talk about like, oh, we wanted to make sure that this was a love letter to the Wyatt Six fans, because Wyatt or Wyndham was a believer of the horror fandom, and he would be so proud of the fact that his ideas and his like creative characters were now featured in a Halloween Horror Nights. And I just love that. And I'm just like really grateful that I was able to go through this house so many times. And I love the fact that I was able to, on November 2nd, to walk through it very slowly and just take in the atmosphere one last time, because I love that house so much. And I really do hope that WWE or Universal executive do decide to bring back this house, but with like a different storyline or with like different type of plot, because I feel like this house really deserved it. The only thing that really annoyed me was people were really passing up on this house because they didn't know the storyline or they didn't know the character. Like, that's not the point. The point of going to Halloween Horror Nights is literally not caring about the story. Like, going to Halloween Horror Nights is literally going and enjoying your night and literally getting scared. I literally told my partner that, hey, if we go to Horror Nights, we're doing the White Six house first, because I really, really love wrestling and I really love the characters. And I understand that you don't understand it and you don't have to look at these different types of breakdown videos of the characters or of the story. You could just enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the scares, enjoy just what is being offered at this event and at this night, because literally this could be the last time that you see a WWE themed horror house at Universal like Studios. And I was just really happy going through the houses every single night. I remember the first time going through it, I was really scared, and now that it's over, I'm really grateful that I went through the house and I was able to just experience the vibes and the atmosphere in that house itself. I really hope that they do bring it back, because I really want to see a different storyline, but I also love that they were able to interpret it in such an amazing and great way, and I just love and I'm just gushing about that house so much. The other houses that we went through were really cool. I'm not going to say that they were horrible or that they were bad, but I love the storylines. I loved how they were interpreted, and I love how they were all like beautiful, like the different smells that were in the houses. Some were good, some were bad, some were god awful, but still, I loved going to Halloween Horror Nights. I'm not going to talk too much about the houses, but like I said, I love the Jason house because of the great scares. The Five Nights at Freddy's house was a pretty house and it had like a lot of great animatronics. The Blumhouse one, I really like the fact that they were able to tie in all of their like well-known and great hit movies, but I really wish that they would have opened up the Nope area one more time for this season. I hope that next season that they do open this, the Nope section up one more time, but I don't know. It's not up to me. It's up to Universal, and it's up to John Murdy to see if they could tie in the Nope section one more time, or I don't know. The Fallout house, I loved it a lot. The Monstro house, I really liked it a lot, but I just felt that like, I don't know, like for the Monsters house, I wish they would have done a little bit more to it, but it was still a great house. I love the details. I love the representation. I'm not going to talk about too much about the Monstro house either, because that one's also getting its own video. And yeah. So since I'm not going to be talking so much about the Halloween Horror Nights houses, I might talk about like upcoming like Halloween videos that are going to be coming out for next year's October season. So of course I want to do a Universal Halloween Horror Nights video dedicated to all of the houses that were featured in the past, because I want to talk about like the past Halloween Horror Nights houses. So maybe that might be a video. I'm also continuing on with the horror movie videos, because I love horror movies and horror movies will always be my thing. And I just love creating fan art for the movies and like shows that I've seen. So yeah, I love that. I really, really, really hope that I could do another Universal Monster video, because I love how all of these characters turned out, but I really want to do maybe like the new generation or like the epic universe, or just like different interpretations of like different universal monsters that other companies were able to create and make. I want to try and do more Milky-tober videos, and I don't know what else type of Halloween spooky type of videos that I want to do. I have a lot of ideas that I want to do, and I have a lot of ideas that I really want to like hopefully make, but it all depends on my time, my schedule, and just being able to juggle all of these different types of art prompts and different types of art challenges that are up and coming, but also dealing with life and dealing with whatever is going on in the time right now. But I love how the Universal Monsters came out. I loved how Horror Nights was, and yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I am really grateful that you guys were listening to me ramble. Hopefully the videos that I suggested or talked about in this video do get featured and do get made in the near future. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you guys have a nice day, night, or whatever, and more videos to come very soon. And yeah, bye guys! Bye!